Alright guys, this is part 2 of the Week 7 college football breakdown. I left off here at Iowa State at Texas Tech. I don't remember what the line was. It's Texas Tech probably by a couple touchdowns or whatnot. Not really impressed with what's going on over here. Texas Tech, I love the way they run their offense, but the key thing is it's like Baker Mayfield or whatever the guy's name is, something Mayfield. Starting quarterback, he's listed out, so they're going to have the second string quarterback in there. I mean, obviously, the way they run their offense, not going to be a problem scoring points. Iowa State, stubborn defense. They also can score some points. So I'm going to take the over here, 56.5. Rice at Texas San Antonio. Two teams I don't really know much about. Rice should have totally destroyed whoever they played last week, but they totally barely won. So I'm going to take the under here, 55. New Mexico at Wyoming. Wyoming off the bye. New Mexico just smashed New Mexico State last week, but New Mexico State ain't really nothing. Wyoming, this is a pretty big spread for them, minus 15.5. Kind of hard to pull off that kind of a victory, even though they're at home off the bye. They're kind of shaky at times, but let's roll. Wyoming minus 15.5. Stanford at Utah. Very good school in Utah, especially when they play at home. They pushed Oregon State to overtime when they played. They lost. UCLA came in and played them. UCLA won by a touchdown. Stanford, totally different team here, though. They like playing on the road. I wouldn't say they actually like it, but they do perform well on the road. They're a much bigger team than UCLA or anyone like that. They're just going to pound the ball. So, I'm going to take Stanford here, minus 8. Georgia Tech at BYU. BYU favored by 7. And I think that defense is just going to hold Georgia Tech down. So I'm going to take BYU minus 7. Nebraska at Purdue. I love Nebraska right now. They're rolling, doing very well. This is a Big Ten game, so hopefully Nebraska go out there and stomp it. Minus 14. Oops, excuse me. I get that. Next game, Missouri at Georgia. Georgia minus 8. I like it. Missouri, it's probably going to be their biggest game that they've had so far. Georgia's ready to go. Aaron Murray just broke the SEC all-time leading passing record last week. So he's the most quarterback with the most passing yards in SEC history. So I'm going to roll Georgia minus 8. Baylor at Kansas State. Baylor minus 17.5. Really crazy that when Baylor, they're averaging 60-something points a game. They've scored at least 60-something points in the first 6 games of the year. The last three in a row, they've scored 70 or more. I mean, how could you not take minus 17.5? I mean, Kansas State, they're kind of good. They're okay. Nothing too special, I don't think. But when you put up 60 points, that means for them not to cover, they'd have to score 42. And can Kansas State score 42? I don't know, but I'm going to keep rolling Baylor Bears here, minus 17.5. Florida at LSU. I love LSU. They're just smashing on offense. They got a decent defense. Florida, offensively, not doing too well. Florida's defense, though, is doing well. But I don't like on the road here, so I'm going to take LSU at home, minus 7. This is Colorado at Arizona State. Arizona State favored by 26. I don't know why. I just get a weird feeling like they're just going to have a kind of a letdown game. So I'm going to take they're going to get the win by at least 3 touchdowns or 2 touchdowns, but I'm going to take Colorado plus 26 here. Oregon at Washington. Washington, they were a top 10 school or a top 25 school. Oregon, though, they're just clicking, they're doing the Oregon thing. So I'm going to roll Oregon minus 13.5. 2 touchdowns they should be able to cover at Washington. Cal at UCLA. UCLA here was favored by 24.5. I mean, I would love it, but I think this is just a situation. They have next 2 weeks after this week. They play at Stanford and at Oregon. Two big road games that, if they win both these games, they're probably going to go to. They could possibly go to the national championship. So yeah, kind of this is like a sandwich game. They're just kind of just waiting. I mean, not like they need to get the win, but I don't think they're going to be like blowing out anyone. Um, so yeah, I think just kind of an in-betweener. They're waiting for the two biggest games of their season next week. So I'm going to take the under here, actually, 72.5, which is seems like a lot for a sandwich game. So yeah, I'm going to take Cal at UCLA under 72.5. Next game, Northwestern at Wisconsin. Wisconsin coming off the bye, playing at home. No one likes to play in Wisconsin. It's really loud, very nice stadium. But Northwestern, usually Wisconsin always smashes Northwestern, like, the last 10 years or whatever. This year is probably Northwestern's best team they've ever had. I think they're going to give them an upset here. Well, maybe not a full upset and win, but I know that they'll probably cover. So I'm going to take Northwestern plus 10.5, even though Wisconsin's coming off the bye. East Carolina at Tulane. East Carolina's offense too much for Tulane. I'm going to take East Carolina minus 10. South Carolina at Arkansas. South Carolina, I hate betting. I hate taking them, even on the road. They just play so soft. Like, they've been the softest team that I've seen this year. Like, they just play soft. That's all there is to it. The resting, what's his name? Clowney, whatever. Yeah, he's looking forward to his NFL career. Everyone's judging him, whatever. Let him do what he wants to do. Obviously, if you're going to be getting paid millions of dollars, I think he'd sit on the bench too, especially when South Carolina can win without him. So yeah, South Carolina minus 6. Come on, it's the only touchdown. All right. Next game, Alabama at Kentucky. Alabama favored by 27.5, 4 touchdowns at Kentucky. Actually, it's funny because my dad's going to be at that game since he lives there now in Kentucky. He's going to be at that game, and he's like, yeah, we're going to get smashed. And I don't disagree with him. So yeah, I'm going to take Alabama minus 4 touchdowns. San Jose State at Colorado State. Colorado State looking good. San Jose State, I think, are coming off a bye. I haven't really seen what they've been doing. Colorado State have been putting up numbers against a couple decent opponents they played. So I think against the mediocre San Jose State, they get the win here. Colorado State minus 4. Idaho at Arkansas State. Arkansas State here, I think it's favored by like 24 or something like that. I mean, obviously Idaho's not that great, but Arkansas State kind of shaky at times. Offensive sputters. So hopefully I'm going to go for the under here, 59.5, under 59.5. Next game, Michigan at Penn State. Michigan only favored by 2 or 1 here in some places, but I got it for 2. Michigan minus 2 is just kind of hard that someone knows something that I don't know, because Michigan should just smash these guys, like no problem. Penn State lost to Indiana last week. Not really doing anything for their season. Michigan, undefeated, had a couple close victories at Akron and UConn. Michigan, come on, baby. Go blue. Michigan minus 2. Syracuse at NC State. NC State at home, always a good team to pick, especially when they get under a touchdown, which is right here, minus 6.5, NC State. All right, guys, I'm going to cut it off here since I'm running out of time. Yeah, see you at part 3.